Is it an anthropological artifact? Is it costumery? Is it an art object? The thing is, it's all of those. And it really depends on the context that you're creating for it and how it's being displayed.
Because we have very few museums or exhibits having to do with Mexican culture, Mexic-Arte Museum has always tried to collect in the different areas. And so since the 1990s, we started collecting Mexican masks.
Within the collection, there's easily over 150. What's really interesting about this is that you're seeing parts of costumes and parts of masks because parts are missing. But most of them, according to the collector, have been used in a dance practice. All these masks have a reference to a specific dance.
The masks represent a variety of roles that have to do with either morality plays, religious plays. They're teaching about history, tradition, pagan rituals. And some now are only festive. They're grounded in tradition and culture, and they go back many, many, many years. They show the combination of indigenous and the Spanish, the customs coming together, so they're a combination of the two.
Certain objects or images or animals or specific figures that the indigenous held pride in all of a sudden became demonized. If the masks are being produced in the colonized space, it will always have the original indigenous community's iconography in it or influence on it or slipped in. So it's really interesting to see a lot of the coloring that was associated with pre-Hispanic gods like black, red, now being associated with devil masks. A lot of the gods that were jaguars were a very powerful, significant animal. And then later in the conversion process, the jaguar becomes more of a trickster. The jaguar becomes more of a reference of danger. And a lot of the dance practices can be kind of broken down into certain categories. And the Dance of the Vaqueros falls into an occupational drama, so it's talking about a specific occupation, like the fisherman or the cowboy in this case. There's a group of cowboys that ultimately defeat some sort of bull that's heavily decorated. And that's the ongoing, consistent detail. So for most of the dances, depending on where they're practiced in Mexico, they're always going to be a little bit different. What's interesting about the Dance of the Fisherman is the associated fish. Some dancer would sit in that or stand in that, and that would go around their waist. And other dancers or performers would go around said fish and try and catch it. Usually the Dance of the Fisherman always has a specific fisherman, and it's a black fisherman, and that references the African slave population that was along a specific coast in Mexico. And a lot of the fishermen tend to be descendants of the African slaves. A lot of the materials that you'll see in this exhibition are specifically wood or hardwood, but there's a whole wall right over here that have more of the unique characteristics and the unique material, like leather or clay. What's really interesting is when animal parts are used, like fangs or hair. There's a specific mask for Dance of the Malinche that's an armadillo shell. What's different about most mask exhibitions is that usually they're from an aesthetic standpoint, so you're just kind of referencing the design elements that constitute this object. But this exhibition contextualizes the object itself. So how it's being used, where it's being used, it's a very sensorial experience.
The thing is that, our culture is very complex. We have both popular traditions, we have contemporary art, we have festivals. And so this is kind of a snapshot or an example of one of the things that's part of our culture. We feel that we are a window to Mexico. We are a connector. Many of the people that live here and the children have never been to Mexico. And so this is a window where they can learn about their country and their culture.